Thanks, Rob. If you've ever been to a campaign event, then you've clearly seen just how much protection and security surrounds the president or even his challenger Mitt Romney. 100 years ago, it wasn't that hard at all to run up to a president on a downtown street. What occurred on October 14th, 1912, almost went down in the history books as an assassination of a one-time sitting president right here in Milwaukee. Teddy Roosevelt could never sit still. By 1912, he already had 2 terms under his belt as president, but old TR wanted more. And his supporters were ready to give him another 4 years as a third-party reform candidate. TR called it the Progressive Party. His friends had another name in mind, as historian John Cooper puts it.
And that's what they call the Bull Moose Party, because somebody asked TR, how do you feel? He said, I feel as fit as a bull moose.
Did we mention he does impersonations? There were no term limits at the time, so Roosevelt, a vibrant 53 years old, felt he could do a better job than the man who took his place, William Howard Taft. The third candidate was Democrat Woodrow Wilson. Roosevelt had stiff competition.
He wants to get the votes in Wisconsin.
So he made his way to Milwaukee on October 14th. The trip wasn't going well that day.
And the problem was he'd strained his voice.
So many speeches, so many cities. Roosevelt decided to rest first in his room at the old Gilpatrick Hotel near 3rd and Kilbourne, where the Hyatt now sits.
And then he had come out and gotten into the car.
An open car, surrounded by a small crowd, including one deranged man.
He'd just gotten into the car when John Schrank shot him. Schrank was standing about 7 feet away.
John Schrank. He came all the way from Brooklyn on a mission.
He was obsessed with the Constitution, and he felt that Roosevelt shouldn't run for a 3rd term and that he must be stopped at all costs.
The bullet went through the overcoat, the suit coat. It nicked the side. It went through the edge of the glasses case. And then it went through the pages of the speech and penetrated his chest.
All of that probably saved his life. Now, you think the next stop would be the hospital. Roosevelt refused. He insisted his team take him down Kilbourne to the old Milwaukee Theater, where the crowd could not believe what they heard.
He was introduced, and when he walked down, huge standing ovation. And he said, you know, I've just been shot, and please be quiet. I can't speak as loudly as I normally do. In what was then called the Milwaukee Auditorium, Roosevelt went on to speak for at least an hour, according to various accounts. He was eventually rushed to the hospital. There's no known photo of Roosevelt during the speech or right after the shooting. You can find a headline from the paper at Milwaukee's Historical Society. And walk into the Hyatt off 3rd Street, you'll see a plaque commemorating that day in history that almost ended tragically. Or as TR would have said, from the mouth of our professor,
it takes more than that to kill a bull moose.
Roosevelt went on the rest of his life with that bullet still in his chest. Doctors determined it wasn't a threat to his internal organs. The gunman, John Schrank, spent the rest of his life in a state prison for the criminally insane. Sunday, on the day of the anniversary, historic Milwaukee will hold a reenactment of the event. It'll start outside the Hyatt downtown at 3 in the afternoon and go to the Milwaukee Theater, and Mayor Barrett will be there as well to help commemorate the event. Speeches and refreshments will follow at the theater. This morning, we're putting smiles